The first finalist will be decided here in the semifinals, game number 3 of the 2022 NACC tournament. We welcome you back on this Saturday. This is Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Tournament Softball, featuring the second-seeded Spartans of Aurora University and the third-seeded Raiders of the Milwaukee School of Engineering. My name is Sean Fry. We are glad that you are with us. Aurora playing for the first time. We thought that we would see them on Thursday night. It didn't happen. Didn't see anybody on Friday. Now here we are in the single elimination tournament with Aurora coming in at 31-7 on the season. They finished conference play at 19-5. Solo second, 2 games clear of the Raiders and Benedictine. Aurora has been tough. One of the top offenses in the conference, in the top 3 in just about every offensive category you can think of. And they come in having swept their final 2 series of the regular season after being swept by Benedictine last Wednesday, bounced back with a sweep of Dominican, and then on the road at Edgewood Saturday and Sunday respectively. So that was good enough to lock Aurora into the number 2 seed, and they get MSOE playing for the second time today. Sort of, as MSOE started its tournament on Thursday, played 5 innings before the rain, saw it come to an end with a 2-0 lead, and that ended up being the final score, as Kennedy Lane, after getting the first 15 outs, got the final 6 as well, and will be headed back to the circle to try to collect her second win, as it turns out, of the day. So it should be a fun one here, with the winner getting tomorrow the winner of the final game today between Concordia, Wisconsin and Benedictine, the Eagles, who just claimed a 1-0 win to knock out Lakeland. The umpires are at home plate. We'll exchange the lineup cards. And so why don't we tell you the lineups here on this Saturday as well. First, for the third-seeded and visiting Raiders of the Milwaukee School of Engineering, Kennedy Lane back to the circle for the second time today. The junior from Kewaskum, Wisconsin, was the conference innings leader, more than 148 on the season, and second in the league with a 1.37 ERA, also second in strikeouts with 216. She tossed a 7-hit shutout in the game's, or in the tournament's first game. It was her 8th shutout of the season. She struck out 7. And so after a terrific conference campaign, back at it here in the conference tournament, and so she'll be in the circle for the second time here today. Leading off for MSOE is the shortstop and a senior from Downers Grove, Illinois, Kara McKenna. Batting second, a sophomore from Valparaiso, Indiana. She'll play right field, Faith Mata. The 3 spot, it is the catcher today, the sophomore from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Jenna Trewin, and Morgan Long is the designated player. Junior from Schaumburg, Illinois, will bat in the cleanup spot. Hitting 5th, playing first base from Plainfield, Illinois, a senior, Caitlin Spreitzer. Lauren Stefanchik, a senior from Palmyra, Wisconsin, hits 6th. In the 7th spot today for MSOE, the second baseman and a sophomore from Vail, Arizona, Celine Pacheco. It's Grace Salaja, the center fielder, in the 8th spot. She's a junior from Heartland, Wisconsin. And from Frankfort, Illinois, the senior Delaney Martino plays left field and rounds out the order for MSOE. McKenna, Mata, Trewin, Long, Spreitzer, Stefanchik, Pacheco, Salaja, and Martino for MSOE, now 25-8 on the season. Alyssa Robeson at the helm of the Raiders. Now the starters for the Spartans of Aurora University. In the circle, Hannah Tomasco, the senior from Verdun, Illinois. A 1.41 ERA, third best in the conference this season. This will be her 19th start. She is 16-3. 130 strikeouts and 119 and 1/3 innings. Opponents are hitting .212 against her. Those 130 strikeouts, by the way, were 4th in the conference. She led the league with complete games as she closed it out nearly every time she pitched. She ended up on the season with 18 complete games in as many starts. Leading off, senior and catcher from Berkeley, Illinois, Josie Liddon. Batting second, playing left field out of Burlington, Wisconsin, the junior, Gemma Feeway. The shortstop, Ashley Talaga, a junior from Hebron, Indiana, bats third. And in the cleanup spot is the first baseman, Lexi Rayborn, a junior from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Hitting fifth, playing second base from Cedar Lake, Indiana, Tyler Chambers, the sophomore, followed by the junior from Chicago, Delilah Aguirre, playing left field. Shelby Lynn, the sophomore out of Knox, Indiana, is the designated player. She will hit seventh. Jordan Seyfried, a third baseman and a sophomore from Foster City, California, hits eighth. And it's Faith Biggs rounding out the order, the sophomore from Union Mills, Indiana, in the 9 spot today, playing right field. Liddon, Feeway, Talaga, Rayborn, Chambers, Aguirre, Lynn, Seyfried, and Biggs, the lineup for Aurora. They are 31-7 on the season, led by Mike McKenzie, who just picked up his 600th win at the helm of the Spartans over the weekend. So those are the lineups. Game 3 of the conference tournament. And who will decide who moves on to tomorrow's championship game is coming up. The pregame announcements are set to begin, and so we'll hand it over to our public address announcer and director of athletic communications, Brian Kipley.
2022 Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Softball Tournament hosted by Aurora University at Bedrosian Stadium. Game 3 features the third-seeded Milwaukee School of Engineering Raiders with a record of 25 wins and 8 losses, and the second-seeded Spartans of Aurora University with a record of 31 wins and 7 losses. Let's meet our Game 3 starters first for the visiting Raiders. The shortstop leads off, number 4, Kara McKenna. Batting second, the right fielder, number 8, Faith Motto. Hitting third, the catcher, number 11, Tanner Traylor. Batting fourth, the designated player, number 12, Morgan Long. Hitting fifth, the first baseman, number 10, Caitlin Schweitzer. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 22, Laura Stefanchak. Seventh, the second baseman, number 5, Celine Pacheco. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 7, Grace Salah. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 3, Celine Martino. In the circle for the Raiders, number 17, Kennedy Lane. The head coach of the Raiders is Alyssa Robeson. Now, the starting lineup for the Spartans of Aurora. The catcher leads off, number 4, Josie Litton. Batting second, the center fielder, number 26, Jenna Feeway. Hitting third, the shortstop, number 7, Ashley Talaga. Hitting fourth, the first baseman, number 20, Lexi Aurora. Hitting fifth, the second baseman, number 23, Tyler Chambers. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 10, Delilah Aguirre. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 8, Shelby Lynn. Hitting eighth, the third baseman, number 33, Jordan Seyfried. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 25, Faith Biggs. In the circle for the Spartans, number 27, Hannah Tomaso. The head coach of the Spartans is Mike McKenzie. The umpires are assigned by the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, Simon Steiner.
The umpires today, Simon Steiner behind the plate. Michael Wojcinski is at first. Bonnie Kinster is at third. And we're almost set for our third game of the tournament, as Aurora is on the field in their home white uniforms, blue pants. MSOE wearing all black uniforms here today. It's Jordan Seyfried at third. Ashley Talaga plays short. Tyler Chambers is at second. Lexi Rayborn at first. And Josie Liddon behind the plate. Delilah Aguirre in left field. Gemma Feeway in center. Faith Biggs is in right. 200 to the foul poles. 220 to center. And a terrific day for softball continuing here. It's been delightful. 65 degrees, brilliant sunny skies, and still dealing with a little bit of wind coming in from behind right field, although it's blowing more from center field towards the first base dugout at this point, but not a lot to speak of. Might have the effect of keeping a few balls in the yard here. That's about it. We're glad you're here. And we're just about ready for softball in Aurora's first, and they hope not only, game of the tournament. MSOE back for the second time. Hannah Tomasco, for her career in the conference tournament, 47 in the third innings, a 3.4 ERA. Opponents hitting .228 against her. 8 starts, she's 4-3. Hoping that she can pitch the Spartans to a date tomorrow in the final. Facing Kara McKenna from the left side, and first pitch here is over the outside corner for strike one. McKenna 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk in the opener. Started the day hitting .408. Well, I should say started the tournament hitting .408 with 9 doubles, 2 homers, and 31 RBIs. Swings and misses at the 0-1, and then takes the 0-1 or the 0-2 pitch outside for ball 1. McKenna 1 for 7 with a run scored against Aurora earlier this year is a pop-up foul over the screen and a play made by a Lakeland fan. Not bad at all. Muskies sticking around to see the rest of the day's action, and a nice play made by a gentleman down in the second, make that third row. Can't beat it. Our first fine play in the field today, but the count remains 1-2 here to Kara McKenna. Breaking ball hung and ripped down into the right field corner. McKenna, big turnaround first as Biggs overran it a little bit. But the result going to be the same. It's a double to lead it off for MSOE. They don't hit for a ton of extra bases. In fact, they were 11th in the league in doubles, 12th in homers. And all 4 of their hits in game 1 were singles. And now the officials are going to confer here. Now it looked like perhaps McKenna and Rayborn got maybe a bit tangled up around first base, but I don't know that that would have made any difference. Home plate umpire Simon Steiner going over to have a word here with Mike McKenzie. MSOE threatening immediately. McKenna pulling a 1-2 pitch down the right field line past Lexi Rayborn. MSOE just 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position against Dominican. We'll have tries right away in that spot here against Aurora. Faith Mata, the right fielder, hitting here from the left side. A lot of lefties in the order for MSOE, 4 of them in total. Accordingly, Aurora pulls the infield in. Mata offers the bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike 1. Mata 340 coming into the tournament. 3 doubles, a triple, and 8 RBIs, but went 0 for 3 with a strikeout against Dominican. Tries bunt again. This time Tomasco goes way up the ladder. Mata pulls it back, and it's a ball and a strike. Raiders trying to draw first blood before they get their ace pitcher, Kennedy Lane, out into the circle. Another bunt attempt here, and another pullback from Mata as Tomasco misses low and away with the fastball. Two and 1. 3 and 1. Close pitch. Not get the call from Simon Steiner. Mata's not likely to get a better pitch here to put the bunt down. Pops it up. Gets away from Seyfried on the third base side. Well, sometimes as a left-handed hitter, you're moving forward in that slap hitting form, and it's hard to get the bat level and be able to get that bunt down effectively. Now the payoff pitch to Mata is fought off. And as Aurora was earlier today, over in that direction, Concordia, Wisconsin, hitting in the cages and into some nets down the third base side, getting warmed up for their game coming up. 3-2 pitch to Mata, a liner knocked down, a kick save by Seyfried, who's in some distress. and everyone's going to be safe, and she needs a moment. I think she took that one right off either the ankle or the low shin. She's going to be okay, but everyone's going to be safe. Well, you do what you can to try to keep the ball in front of you, and I think there are goalies across the parking lot for lacrosse today that would have been very impressed with the form from Jordan Seyfried a moment ago. But against a left-handed hitter in that spot, even knocking it down likely was not going to be enough, even for a very good fielder, as Seyfried has shown to be. First two are aboard. Mike McKenzie came out, perhaps for a bit of reassurance here, and Jenna Treewin steps in with 2 on and nobody out. Tomasco starts her off with the breaking ball for strike 1. Tomasco's gotten ahead of all 3 hitters and has gotten absolutely no reward for it so far. A double and an infield single. Now a roller out to short. Talaga wanted to try to get the lead runner, didn't have it. Instead, we'll throw across the diamond here to get the first out. And it'll bring Morgan Long to the plate. 0 for 2 with a walk in game 1. Hitting .404 in the regular season with 4 homers and 26 RBIs. A dangerous bat. And with Josie Liddon set up way outside, you wonder if maybe this is going to be an intentional walk, and that certainly appears to be what it's going to be here. Now Wood set up the force at home. So an intentional walk here to Long will be finished off here. We'll set up the force, and Aurora will, I think, continue to pull the infield in here. Caitlin Spreitzer in a big spot. He went 0 for 3 against Dominican. 15 RBIs on the year with a couple of doubles and a triple. She hit .318 on the season. First pitch from Tomasco. Strike 1 at the letters. Now Spreitzer has struggled a bit in the NACC tournament. She's 3 for 24 in her career. And is going to be behind Tomasco here 0-2 as she fouls off. A 1-strike offering. Lauren Stefanczyk on deck. Aurora needing a strikeout. At least a well-hit ground ball at a fielder. Ball outside. And ball and 2 strikes here to the MSOE 5-hitter. Double single. Ground out intentional walk. Tomasco with the riser. Fan Spreitzer for the second out. That'll move the infield back and bring up Stefanczyk. Snapped a 3-game hitless skid with a single in the opener. Struck out her other 2 attempts. She'll take ball 1 above the letters. Hit .276 in the regular season. .282 against the conference. 1-0. Tomasco fights back with strike 1 with the fastball. Would certainly be something of a disappearing act if Tomasco can get out of the bases loaded jam here in the first. 1-1 is popped up, foul territory, right side. Liddon looking for it at the railing, makes the catch and ends the inning. MSOE with a couple of hits. They leave the bases loaded and don't score. Through a half inning, MSOE nothing. Aurora coming to bat for the first time in the 2022 NACC tournament. No score through a half inning, and Aurora gets its bats out for the first time in this NACC tournament. MSOE loaded the bases with one out. Not able to bring one in. And we'll see if that will be a gust of wind into the Aurora sails here. These teams split back on April 16th. Aurora won 5-1 behind a Hannah Tomasco complete game. She outdueled Kennedy Lane. Lane got her revenge in game 2 in a 7-2 win. With a rubber match here, and Josie Liddon to the plate facing Lane and takes strike one. Liddon 371 on the season coming into this one. 7 doubles, 4 triples, and 21 RBIs. Has been an excellent leadoff hitter for Aurora this season. She'll take ball one upstairs. Aurora third best in the league with a .350 batting average, 8 points behind the conference leading Raiders. They were second best in on-base percentage and in slugging percentage. Their 71 doubles led the conference. Ball 2 here to Liddon. MSOE has largely singled teams to victory, and Aurora has mashed it all over the field. Liddon tries the bunt. Here's one way they do it. Stefanchik got down the line, fielded it well, and Liddon outran it. On base with an infield single. And Liddon has been a lot to deal with on the bases. She led the NACC with 25 stolen bases. For context, that was very nearly 50% of Aurora's stolen bases on the year. They had 51 as a team. So actually now she's up and over the 50% mark as Gemma Feeway, first pitch swinging. That one's into the gap and all the way to the wall. Liddon thinking about scoring from first. She will. There's a bobble in center field. Feeway is in the third. Aurora is in the lead as Feeway delivers on one pitch from Kennedy Lane. 1-0 Aurora. And it will be a triple for Feeway. The bobble in center, not enough to disrupt the play. And Ashley Talaga will bat here against Lane with the second run of the game 60 feet away. Feeway came in hitting .308. Her percentage against the conference was more than 30 points better and immediately looking to hit. Now Ashley Talaga takes ball one up and in. Talaga 342 on the season. She's hit in 5 straight and reached in 13 in a row. Hit 5 homers, drove in 32 in the regular season, hitting here from the right side. Takes a breaking ball over the outer half for strike one. Hannah Tomasco was in trouble in the opening half inning, got out of it. Kennedy Lane's in trouble right now. Here's the squeeze play, and it's a beauty. Talaga down the right side. Lane has to field it. Feeway scores. 2-0 Aurora on the sacrifice. Textbook for Talaga, who tied for the conference lead with 8 sacrifice bunts coming into this one, and now has the outright lead to make it 2-0. So Lexi Rayborn here with the bases empty in a 2-0 game takes the breaking ball for ball one. A close pitch. Now Rayborn hitting .417, the team best 37 RBIs, and similarly team best 6 homers, but hit in just one of the final 6 games of the season. Fights off the 1-0 here. Certainly a bit of an anomaly. She mashed all year long, was in the top 10 in batting average. 16 doubles, were second best in the conference and just outside the top 10 in the country. 1-1 outside. Now that one game that she did hit in, she went 4 for 4 and drove in 3 against Edgewood. Well, obviously locked in for the first game against those Eagles and trying to get locked back in here for the conference tournament. fights off the 2-1 here, and the count will be even. 2-0, bottom of the first. Infield single for Liddon. Triple to left center for Feeway. Squeeze play sacrifice for Talaga, and now Rayborn in a 2-2 count with the bases empty. Swings and misses. And we'll go back to the dugout as Lane's first strikeout victim. Now Tyler Chambers, though, who has really elevated her game. Had a nice freshman season. She hit .305. Improved on that by more than 100 points. .410 in the regular season, 34 RBIs. That was second best on the team. She'll take ball 1 from Lane. Found her way into the top 10 in RBIs, and well, Chambers hitting the bottom third of the order all of last season and started there this season and just hit her way farther up in the order and does it again. A slicing liner in the left center field. She will slide into second safe with a 2-out double. That's her 8th two-bagger of the year. And Delilah Aguirre will get a chance to hit here in the bottom of the first to try to add to Aurora's 2-0 lead. They have come out swinging the bat here against MSOE. And 2 runs is frequently enough for Hannah Tomasco. Might be a different story today, but you want to start quick, and Aurora certainly has. And Delilah Aguirre takes the fastball too tall here from Lane. Aguirre has turned it on, hitting .429 over her last 8 games to bring her average to .330 on the season. She's driven in 26, has 10 extra bases, including 1 home run. Ball 2 inside. She'll have a hitter's count here. Lane having to battle here. It's been a long first inning. The junior right-hander, the 2-0 to Aguirre, is fired in for strike 1. Lane has thrown a ton of pitches this year, used a lot for MSOE. This is her 31st appearance in 34 games for MSOE. 148 in the 3rd innings is a lot. It's not an enormous number relative to some totals we might have seen in the past. It was first in the conference by a margin. 3-1 pitches in for strike 2. That is to say that MSOE has leaned on her quite a bit this season, and with good reason. Been very good for MSOE. Needs to be very good here to get out of this inning. But Aguirre not ready to go away. Fouls off the 3-2 offering. Aguirre does have a good batter's eye, second best on the team with 11 walks this season. 1 off the team lead. And perhaps a pitch away from tying that here. Payoff pitch again to Aguirre is outside, and Aguirre will reach. If you're a young broadcaster, that right there about the walks is called foreshadowing. So here's Shelby Lynn coming to the plate. Hit an even 300 in the regular season. A couple of homers and 14 RBIs. Here with 2 on, 2 out in a 2-0 game. And takes a bit of a high strike from Simon Steiner that got at least a few surprised remarks from the crowd. I thought it was a bit tall as well. Count 0-1. No question about that one. The fastball stays up. Ball and a strike here to Lynn. Back to mid-April. And she will. He'll chop her back to her. Throw to first for a 1-3 putout to end the first. Aurora plates a couple on 3 hits, no errors, 1 left. 2-0 Spartans through an inning at Bedrosian Stadium in Game 3, the semifinals of the 2022 NACC tournament. Two nothing here through an inning. Aurora and MSOE. Spartans leading. Bottom third of the order due up here for MSOE. First pitch, a check swing. They'll appeal and say Celine Pacheco went. Pacheco 2 for 3 with a run against Dominican. Hit .288 in the regular season. Take ball 1 up and in. It's an interesting first inning. Double and an infield single, followed by a ground out and an intentional walk. Hannah Tomasco had to walk the tightrope and did it. Got a strikeout and a pop out to end the inning and keep the Raiders off the board. 2 balls and a strike. Pop up. High over the infield, shallow. Tomasco will have to play it herself, a step behind the pitching rubber. And so the rare P1 for the first out of the second inning. For Grace Salaja, looking for her first hit of the tournament. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored against Dominican. The infield pulled in here against the lefty. She takes strike 1. Salaja hit .436 the regular season, doubled twice. 18 RBIs. Hitting here with 1 out and the base is empty. She'll take ball 1 up and away from Tomasco. At 65 degrees at first pitch. Wind's blowing in, but just a gorgeous day for softball. You can't beat it. Be 2-1 here to Salaja. As that pivot pitch goes in her direction. Fastball missed low and away. 2-1. Fought off. And the count evens. Tomasco at 35 pitches here through nearly an inning and 2/3. I say nearly as the job is not finished on this potential second out. She loses the breaking ball. Load the count. First full count for Hannah. Here is the 3-2, and she loses Salaja. That's why I said nearly an inning and 2/3. MSOE, 84 walks in 32 games. They don't draw a ton of them. And Salaja has been among the leaders. That's her 14th on the season. So she'll be on first. She has 14 stolen bases to lead the Raiders. And so she'll need to be kept an eye on out there. That put her in the top 10 comfortably. Delaney Martino comes to the plate. There's 1 out here. Martino does not have a sacrifice bunt. Wouldn't seem to be a great spot for it, but she's a lefty, so you can sometimes accomplish both here. Putting a weak tapper down the line and legging it out. She fouls off the first pitch from Tomasco. She went 0 for 1 with a sacrifice in the opener against Dominican. Behind here 0-1. Another foul ball. This one will get out of play. Looks like some Concordia, Wisconsin fans had an opportunity to make a play and didn't quite come up with it. 1 on, 1 out. 0-2 count here to the 9-hitter and Delaney Martino, top of the second. Fastball outside. Waste pitch. Tomasco trying to get Martino to pitch. This one's popped up foul. Left side, it'll stay in play. It will not stay in play. I stand corrected. The wind blew that one right out. Just a little bit extra there at the end. Pushed it past the dugout railing. Kara McKenna set to hit unless Aurora is able to pull off the twin killing. It'll be tough against Chambers at second, who rather than going for the throw, just slapped the tag on Salaja. Fielder's choice, 4 unassisted. It ends the second inning. 1 out walk left aboard, nothing else. Bottom of the second incoming, and Aurora leading MSOE 2-0. Aurora brought 7 to the plate in the first inning, scoring a couple. So Jordan Seyfried will lead it off in the 8th spot. The Spartans leading 2-0. Happy you're with us on this Saturday. I'm going to speak for everyone here. A day like this was worth the wait. We're not going to have any type of rain trying to spoil things today. Seyfried's first pitch from Kennedy Lane is fouled away, straight back. Jordan at 304 on the year and has hit in 3 straight coming into the tournament. 5 doubles on the year as well for the sophomore, the alum of San Mateo High School. Take ball 1 outside from Lane's fastball. Bumpy start for Kennedy Lane, 26 pitches, 15 for strikes in the first. It was 2-0 through 3 batters. Will settle in a little after that. Still gave up another double. Check swing. Seyfried went per Simon Siner, and I would tend to agree. He had a better look than I did. So we're on the same page. The count's 1-2. Seyfried, liner in the right. Coming up throwing here was Mata, but Seyfried legs that out, and she's hitting 4 straight. A single to lead off the second for Faith Biggs. You can make an argument for several players, but certainly for Faith Biggs, one of the hottest bats in the Aurora lineup of late. She's hitting 7 straight. Seyfried comes out here as Isabel Morales will run. And then we will, in all probability, see Seyfried return and play third for the rest of the game after the inning ends here. Biggs is hitting 7 straight. She's 11 for 18 in that stretch to bring her average up to 361. Hitting here from the right side for the Spartans. Shows bunt, pops it into the screen. Does have a couple of sacrifice bunts. She's done a lot. A little bit of everything for Faith Biggs. She has 10 stolen bases, which is second best on the team. A couple of sacked bunts. That one dies on the dirt. She legs out the single. The first 2 are on again for Aurora. Make it 8 in a row for the South Central High School alum. Well, sometimes you need a little bit of help, and that one with the spin off the bat, a little bloop, and just died. when it hit the turf, or the dirt as it were. Josie Litton with 2 on and nobody out on the top of the Aurora order. Takes the breaking ball for strike 1. Now we know Josie can put down an infield single. We saw her do it in the first. She has a couple of sacrifice hits on the season. Would not be a shock to see her put down a bunt again. Third baseman and first baseman creeping down the line. Litton does put down the bunt. Stefanchek fields this one clean and throws out Litton. The sacrifice moves Morales and Biggs up 60 feet. A big chance here for Gemma Feeway. An RBI triple already in this one for her 18th ribby of the year. And her 4th triple. And she's hit to load the bases with 1 out. Aurora led the conference in batters hit. That's number 38. They're in the top 10 in the nation. Timeout called here as Alyssa Robeson will come out to have a word. But so far it has been a bit of a mess for MSOE, and there's a lot of softball to be played here. But Aurora has a chance to blow this game wide open. We'll see if they're able to do it. Kennedy Lane has just hit her 11th batter of the season. It will be Isabel Morales on third, Faith Biggs on second, Gemma Feeway on first for Ashley Talaga, who executed a successful squeeze last inning for her conference-leading 9th sacrifice bunt and her 33rd RBI of the year. Now the question is, do you go back to it here, or do you let somebody who's homered 5 times this season and hit 15 extra base hits swing away with the sacks full? Infield is back. Talaga first pitch swinging and fouled it off the end of the bat. That may not answer the question necessarily. You got Lexi Rayborn waiting on deck, barring a double play. This is certainly going to be a tough ask for Kennedy Lane here. Certainly capable. And she throws the 0-1 past Talaga above the letters. Lane trying to do to the Spartans when Hannah Tomasco did to the Raiders in the first. 0-2 to Ashley. Fought off. An excellent crowd here on, I don't know what you'd call this. Is this the 3rd day of the tournament or the 2nd? It was supposed to be the 3rd day. 0-2. Talaga takes the breaking ball outside. 2-0 Aurora, bottom of the 2nd. Bases loaded and 1 out. Lane in some trouble, trying to get out of the jam, but ahead of Ashley Talaga in the 3 spot. Talaga fights off another. The fastball ran in on the hands. Popped it over the catcher, Treewin, and behind her. Treewin, the catcher. I don't know if I went around the infield or not. Stefanchek, McKenna, Pacheco, and Spreitzer left to right around the infield. Martino, Salaja, and Mata in the outfield, also left to right. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another foul ball here. Talaga not going quietly. Aurora only averages a little more than 3 strikeouts per game. They find a way to put balls in play. That's why they've been so successful this season and for many others. Ground ball through the hole, right side base hit. Morales scores. Here comes Biggs. She slides in. It's 4-0, and there will be runners on the corners with 1 out. Talaga has 3 RBIs on the day. Single scores 2. MSOE in some trouble here in the second, down 4-0. And Lexi Rayborn now batting for the Spartans. First pitch from Lane to Rayborn comes up and in, and that will likely back Rayborn off the plate a couple of inches. It's ball 1. It's the 1-0. Off the handle and in the left for a base hit. Feeway scores. Rayborn makes it 5-0. Talaga moves to second. Tyler Chambers will be asked to move the line. 7th batter of the inning. Chambers doubled into the left field gap last inning. Has the bat out as if to bunt, now pulls it back as Lane winds, and she'll miss outside. There's still plenty of time for MSOE to come back in this one, but 5-0 for Hannah Tomasco is frequently in the death and taxes category. Ground ball right side, knocked down by Pacheco, and then the throw, handcuffed Spreitzer, and everyone's safe. Bases are loaded again, still with 1 out. And the infield will gather, and Delilah Aguirre will gather her thoughts before batting here with the bases loaded. First couple of innings for the Aurora offense have been a statement, to say the very least. 6 runs in. MSOE still has 2 outs to get in this inning to get out of trouble. Aguirre walked in the first, back up here 1 inning later against Kennedy Lane. Takes ball 1. Pitch. And over the inside corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aurora does not have a grand slam this season. They did hit 1 last year. 2-1 here to Aguirre. Aguirre just hit her first home run of the season just a handful of games ago against Concordia Chicago. Aurora itself hasn't homered in 5 straight. We're going to have a pinch runner here, perhaps for, they're pointing at Lexi Rayborn. And they're going to, in fact, send Michaela Reyes in to run for Rayborn. So she'll be on second. Talaga is on third. Chambers on first. Count 2-1 here to Aguirre. The hitters count against Kennedy Lane. 2-1 is fouled right back. Well, I'm sure you've heard the saying, if you foul it straight back, you're on it. I have absolutely no idea if that's actually true. But if it is, it seemed to bode well for Aguirre, and next time she gets 1 out over the plate. 2-2 is once again fouled straight back. Well, that's back-to-back, directly back, so testing the theory, perhaps. 5-0 Aurora. I think I said 6 earlier, and I stand corrected there. 5-0 Aurora. 3 runs in this inning, 2 in the first, and plenty more out there. 2-2. This is low. Count is full. There's nowhere to put him. So this will have to be a pitch to Aguirre here, or it will be 6-0. Payoff pitch. It was a home run swing for Aguirre. He was out in front of it. And the at-bat continues. At-bats so far in this ball game. 3-2 again to Aguirre in the 6th spot is blooped into not even shallow left. Pop-up here for McKenna, who was able to backpedal right to the edge of the turf and make the catch for the 2nd out. So Shelby Lynn will be the 9th batter of the inning. A comebacker to Lane to end the 1st, and will try to avoid ending the 2nd as well. Bases remain loaded. Lynn flinched. Takes ball 1 off the plate here from Lane. He was having a little trouble with command here in this one to this point. 1-0. Swing and a miss. It's Lynn to chase the rise ball. It's a ball and a strike. The sophomore designated player in the 7th spot of the Aurora order. 1-1. Finds the inside corner. I think Lynn crowding the plate a little bit. Aurora 4 hits this inning, 7 for the game through not quite 2 full innings. Lynn trying to extend the inning here, down a ball and 2 strikes. Fights this one into the netting. Jordan Seafried has already been re-entered and is in the on-deck circle. So she'll be back at 3rd next inning, whenever that is. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes to Lynn as Lane tries to get out of the jam. Can't retire Lynn just yet. Already 45 minutes of softball not out of the 2nd inning. One, 2 again to Shelby. Too tall. Lynn is not choked up one bit. Is up there to do damage here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. A 2-2 pitch, swings and misses. Lane gets out of the jam. But 3 runs come in first on 4 hits. There was an error. Bases left loaded. It is 5-0 Aurora through 2 innings here at Bedrosian Stadium. The semifinals of the 2022 NACC tournament. Aurora has not lost this season when scoring at least 5 runs. They are 27-0. They lead 5-0 through 2. 2, 3, and 4 due up for MSOE here now with some work to do. And Faith Mata in the 2 spot, starting it off, taking strike 1 from Tomasco. Single on the first. The Chesterton High School alum. He's now reached in 9 straight. Takes ball 1. Actually, he's now reached in 10 straight. Reached on an error in the first game of the tournament. She'll find some space up the middle here on 1-1. Past the dive of Chambers up the middle. And she is 2 for 2 in this second game of the tournament for MSOE. It'll bring Jenna Trewin to the plate. With Hannah Tomasco, was named to the NFCA Position Player of the Year watch list earlier this year. Came into the tournament hitting nearly 450. 0 for 1. And then takes ball 1 as that breaking ball did not break. It's floated up there and out of the strike zone. 1-1. Pop up to short. Talaga got turned around a bit. But she stepped onto the turf, found it for the first out. So now we'll see what Morgan Long can do. She was given the intentional free pass in the first. 0 for 2 with a walk in game 1. She hit .404 coming into the tournament. 4 homers and 26 RBIs. I'd like for her to do some damage here. She falls behind Tomasco 0-1. Hannah has been terrific at getting ahead of hitters. Only 2 batters in this entire game she's fallen behind. One of those was the intentional walk to Long, which counts, but was never going to get a first pitch strike there. But after going behind 0-1, gets ahead 2-1 as Tomasco misses off the plate once and over it twice. Or on the second try anyway. Here's the 2-1 to Long. She'll rip that foul into the MSOE bullpen down the first base side. 2-2 here to Long. With Mata on first. The pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Tomasco's 3rd strikeout is the 2nd out of the 3rd. Fools the Raiders cleanup hitter. And Caitlin Spreitzer will look to do better than her first inning strikeout. Flashed a bunt and then pulled it back as the first pitch fastball sailed above the letters. Spreitzer now 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts in this tournament. Fastball in at the letters here for strike 1. Count even here with 1 on and 2 outs. Top of the 3rd. Aurora up 5-0. Pitch well up the ladder for ball 2. Gina Followell, top pitchers in the nation, likely waiting in the wings for CUW in the game to follow this. 3-1 now to Spreitzer. Expect Followell to be in the circle for Concordia, Wisconsin when they play Benedictine. Had a fabulous year for the Falcons. Ball 4 to Spreitzer. They'll put 2 on here with 2 outs. And with Followell, I mean, you look at her numbers and, you know, no disrespect to any of the other pitchers in this tournament. We have a lot of good ones in the NACC. Hannah Tomasco was certainly among the league leaders in a number of categories last year and is up there again this year in the country. But Followell has put together a truly special season. Some of the numbers she's put up, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. Said that about Hannah Tomasco throughout the years as well. Having to battle here with 2 on and 2 out, she starts off Stefanchek with strike 1. Ryan gets a check swing. They'll appeal. She went. That's a good call. A few disappointed MSOE fans out there, but in real time, I certainly thought she went from back here. Gets into the count here with ball 1 low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stefanchek popped out to end the first. The base is loaded. Fights off the 1-2 here. Trying to get MSOE on the board here, down 5-0 in the top of the third. Tomasco trying to get out of this. Not yet. Stefanchek fights that off. Stefanchek, 333 for her career in the NACC tournament. A couple of RBIs. Called time. Wasn't granted it immediately. Then realized it, stepped back in, and Simon Steiner then granted it. So here's Tomasco on 1 and 2. Looper, left field line, foul. Would have plated MSOE's first run had it stayed fair. It did not. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Tomasco winds and deals and missed the inside corner. Perhaps missed the zone vertically as well. Might have been a bit low. Now 2 and 2. That one climbs the ladder. So that'll put the runners in motion here. 2 outs and a full count to Stefanchek. Off they go, and it's a pop-up out in front. Liddon bobbles it and doesn't have a play. She has to put it in her pocket. Everyone safe. Would suspect that they're going to call that an infield single. And they do. So Celine Pacheco bats with the bases loaded. Second time in 3 innings for MSOE, and hits this in the left. Raiders are on the board. Aguirre overran it, but the stop sign was put up for Caitlin Spreitzer. And so only 1 run comes in. But it does get MSOE on the board here. And brings up Grace Salaja in the 8th spot. She walked in the 2nd. It's a lefty. The infield creeps to the front of the base paths. And Salaja takes ball 1. Now, you didn't think MSOE was going to go away quietly, did you? Battling back here in the 3rd. Tomasco misses with 2 here. And Salaja with a good count to hit in. Balls and no strikes. 1 run in here in the top of the 3rd. Raiders still down 4. A long way to go in this one. Hannah back into the count here with the fastball on the outer half. Salaja might have been taking the whole way. I think she won't be taking here, though, on 2 and 1. It has to, as the pitch was blown away. And with the bases loaded here, Hannah will have to make a pitch. That might have been as good as Grace Salaja was going to be able to hope for. She kept the bat on her shoulder with the bases loaded. So the count is full. Runners will be going again. Here's the pitch. Hit sharply. 3rd base side off the bag. Base hit. 1 run in. Here comes a 2nd. It's 5-3. As Spreitzer and Stefanchek both score. 2-run single for Salaja moves the line. And the infield, I thought they were all going to gather. Liddon will come out and have a word with Tomasco here. Now, and after Aurora put up 5 in the opening 2, MSOE in the third says game on and answer with 3 of their own, effectively erasing the bottom of the second. Three straight hits, 4 for the inning. Now they've scored the hit for Salaja as an error. We'll check on that. Counts a ball and a strike here to Delaney Martino. Now it's 2-1 to Martino as she takes the pitch outside. Two one, fouled off. Two. Swung on, popped up, left side. Talaga has it and ends the inning. 3 runs in for MSOE in the top of the third. Aurora brings 8, 9, and 1 coming up in the bottom half, leading 5-3. (5-3) MSOE able to answer the salvo of their own. Now, a quick note on the scoring. A 2-run play for Grace Salaja was scored an error, so no RBIs. 2 of the runs unearned for Hannah Tomasco. But runs they are nevertheless. And Kennedy Lane now with a little less of a deficit that she's facing, and starts off Jordan Seyfried with strike 1. Seyfried singled into right in her first plate appearance. Looking to go 2 for 2 here to start the tournament, and takes ball 1 upstairs. Aurora scored the first 2 runs of the game in just 3 batters in the first, then plated 3 in the second. Gave all 3 right back in the top of the third, and now are back out trying to add to their total once more. Seyfried gets ahead 2-1. Aurora has now scored in 110 of 241 innings, about 46% of the time they plate runs. 3-1 here to Seyfried. Aurora, in fact, now has 68 multi-run innings. Or about a third of the time. They can pile them up. Seyfried fights off the 3-1. And that'll fill the count. Payoff pitch here to the Spartan 8-hitter. Rings up Seyfried. Good pitch, inside corner at the knees. Third strikeout for Lane. You feel like this is a very critical inning for MSOE's chances the rest of the game. Get some runs back. If you can answer with a shutdown inning, you have to feel like you're right there in it. Faith Biggs with a single already on a bunt. Takes ball one here. Extended her hitting streak to 8 games. So the infielder's certainly keeping that in mind. We take strike one as the count evens. At 1 ball and 1 strike. Breaking ball hit hard in the left, and it will drop in front of the left fielder, Martino. Biggs is 2 for 2. And he'll turn the lineup over with 1 on for Josie Liddon. Single and a sacrifice in this one. Looking for her 16th multi-hit game of the season. Previous appearances against MSOE didn't go well for Josie. She was just 1 for 13 through her first 4 games against the Raiders. One has come out to do damage today, and so far been able to make something happen twice. Behind here 0-1 as Lane winds and deals, and Liddon fouls that into the netting. Two here to Liddon. Too tall. Aurora, the only team to qualify for all 15 conference tournaments. Beginning the road, hoping for their 5th title and first in 7 years. And what would be their 18th NCAA tournament bid in so doing. This one runs in on Liddon and hits her on the elbow. Be 2 on and 1 out. And Aurora threatening again in the 3rd. For Gemma Feeway. Alyssa Robeson out, I suspect, to argue that Liddon was out over the plate. It's not usually one you're going to win with the home plate umpire who is already centered to first base. Feeway, an RBI triple in the 3rd. Hit by a pitch last inning. She's scored both times. Fantastic start to the tournament here for her. First pitch swinging was out in front. Obviously, Feeway looking to be aggressive against Kennedy Lane. And why not? She's 3 for 7 with a couple of triples and 2 RBIs against the Raiders this year. Behind here 0-1. 2-run Aurora lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Lane misses out off the plate with the fastball. In general, it has not gone well if you're facing the top of the order for the 3rd time in as many innings, and that's where MSOE stands, but the past is past. Trying to deal with the present, and the disappearing act on the 1-1 pitch for Kennedy Lane got the bottom to fall out. A swing and a miss from Feeway. So the count 1-2 here to the junior. Watches that one climb the ladder and out of the zone. And the count evens. Two balls and 2 strikes. Feeway chases. Pitch blown away for out number 2. But Ashley Talaga has 3 RBIs already today on a squeeze play and a 2-run single. And we'll try to add to her total here. Now 6 for 13 in the conference tournament for her career. Takes ball 1 off the plate. Should be feeling very confident at the plate. The way that she has swung the bat so far. 1-0. Popped up. It'll stay in play. And the third baseman, Stefanchek, in front of the railing, makes the catch to end the inning. MSOE keeps Aurora off the board for the first time today. 2 left, 1 hit. 3 innings in, Aurora leads MSOE 5-3. Top of the order due up for MSOE in the top of the 4th inning. It's 5-3 Aurora. Kara McKenna, the double and a ground into a fielder's choice today in game 2. Takes strike 1 from Hannah Tomasco. Allowed 3 runs, only 1 earned in the 3rd. Misses outside here with the fastball. Now the NACC Men's Lacrosse Tournament Championship is underway as a foul ball here is hauled in by an MSOE fan. He didn't handle it clean, but to his credit, he stayed with it and made the play. We have a score on the men's lacrosse game. Benedictine leading Aurora 3-2 in the first half. It's early. 1-2 is swung on and lifted high into center. Feeway charging in front of the logo. Fights the sunshine. Is not something we've said a lot this year. It makes the catch. And getting past 3 o'clock here, so the sun is shifted at this point nearly directly behind home plate. And so it's a battle for the center fielder right now. Faith Mata 2 for 2 batting here and taking ball 1 low and away. Mata has made things happen today. Infield in with the left-hander at the plate. She'll be ahead here 2-0. Seyfried well down the line at third. Mata fouls off the 2-0. (5-3) Aurora, top of the 4th, 1 out, nobody on. A 2-1 count here to Faith Mata. The pitch, bunt down in front. Tomasco, the barehanded play, and the throw not in time. Mata is 3 for 3. So Jenna Treewin, I think we're at the point in the game where we can start saying is the tying run. She's 0 for 2 in this ball game, 1 for 5 for the tournament. Treewin does have a team best 33 RBIs, just a single home run for a team that hit only 7 out of the ballpark all year. Takes ball 1. 1-0, hit out to short. Talaga will take the shore out at first. A strong throw. Mata got a great jump off the pitch and is in the second safely. Treewin 0 for 3. 2 away for Morgan Long. Now MSOE is 4 for 6 today with runners in, I can't even say today because they only played 2 innings today. They played the other 5 2 days ago. You know what I mean. They're 4 for 6 in this game with runners in scoring position. after going 1 for 8 against Dominican over a 2-day stretch of play. I think that covers all the bases. Breaking ball dies on the way there to long. Intentional walk and a strikeout here against Tomasco. Now 2-0. With first base open, you don't need to groove one into the cleanup hitter. Yeah, but 5 and 6, they aren't any treat either. Here's a pop up to the pitcher. Tomasco will take it herself, the edge of the chalk. How about that? Back-to-back innings with no runs. MSOE with a hit, or back-to-back half innings anyway with no runs. One left. 5-3 Spartans. So we reach the halfway point of this one. Game 3 of the NACC tournament and a semifinal matchup here at Bedrosian Stadium. Aurora brings the middle of the order to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th, leading MSOE 5-3. Lexi Rayborn has an RBI single. The only hit in her 2 tries today. Kennedy Lane starts her off with a breaking ball off the plate. Rayborn now with 38 RBIs on the season, led the Spartans with 6 homers. Out in front of the 1-0. I mentioned that Lexi didn't have the strongest finish to the season, but had a very good conference tournament last year with 5 hits, 2 for extra bases, and 4 RBIs. Just got her first hit against the Raiders, 1 for 8 against MSOE this season. Now trying to come up with another one here, but she'll have to battle from behind here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tyler Chambers and Delilah Aguirre set to hit here in the 4th for Aurora. The game up over an hour and 15 minutes now. Another foul ball. CUW was scheduled to play Benedictine at 3:30. I do not think that's going to happen at this point. It's a lot of outs to get in 13 minutes. 1-2 to Rayborn. It's chased and flipped out to center field. Salaja on the logo, has it. 1 down. Tyler Chambers is aboard twice today. Once with a double and once on an error. She'll step in here. 1 out. Nobody on. A 5-3 Aurora lead. Chambers bat out, pulls it back. First pitch swinging and a fly ball to left. Martino coming on and making the catch for out number 2. Will Aurora need more runs to win this game? It's hard to say. MSOE was right around the middle of the pack this year with 198 runs. Also played a handful of games fewer than some of their opponents. Opponent lineup. And Aguirre first pitch swinging, chopped that one down at Stefanchak, and maybe the recipient of a bit of a ugly bounce there at the end as it looked like she had good position and it spun up and looked like it hit her just below the chin. So right now an infield single, and that is what they're going to call it here as Shelby Lynn steps in with 1 on and 2 outs. She'll take strike 1 at the letters. I think that's the right call too. Stefanchek was in position, but you know, sometimes as a fielder, maybe you get a divot from a cleat and you end up nearly eating the ball. And Stefanchek been very good out there at third. One now the count here. Shelby Lynn, 0 for 2 today. 2 swings and misses. Lane with the high heat. Five to 3 Spartans. Foul ball here on 1 and 2. CUW ready to go. Having to wait. This one started about a half hour behind the scheduled time and is on pace to be about a 2-hour game, so it could be about an hour behind the scheduled time here before this is all said and done. It's a pop-up, foul territory. Catcher Treewin looking for it and dropped it. The inning continues. Never really got turned around there in a good position to make the play. The spin of the ball ended up having to jab at it a little bit there. Count remains 1 and 2. Now 2 and 2 as Lane loses the fastball upstairs. With the count even and 2 outs. 1 on. Lynn sent back to the dugout on strikes. 5th strikeout for Kennedy Lane, and it ends the 4th. No runs on a hit, 1 left. We're through 4. Aurora leads MSOE 5-3 in the 2022 NACC tournament. Top of the 5th inning. MSOE trails Aurora 5-3. Multi-run innings only so far in this one. Aurora with 2 in the first, 3 in the second. MSOE answered with 3 in the third. Caitlin Spreitzer to start it off here against Hannah Tomasco. And Hannah misses off the plate with the fastball. Spreitzer a strikeout and a walk. Came around the score after reaching in the third. Swings on the 1-0 and pops it up. Right side, Chambers lost it in the sun. And Spreitzer is safe. Now the wind blowing a little bit, and I think that was a case of Chambers getting a face full of sunshine. And it'll be an error assessed. And puts the leadoff batter on base. Lauren Stefanchek with an infield single in the 3rd inning. She's 1 for 2. She'll take ball 1 off the inside corner. Now 2-0. Moscow into the count here. It's 2 balls and 1 strike here to the Raiders' 6-hitter. 3-1. Moscow misses, down and in. Walks back behind the circle to collect herself. MSOE trying to put the first 2 aboard here in the 5th. Strike 2 called at the letters. Now the payoff pitch with 1 out. It's fouled off. And the count remains 3-2. 5-3, top of the 5th. MSOE trying to threaten quickly here in this inning. Payoff pitch popped up, and this time Chambers loses it again. And everyone's safe. That was another mess with a ball popped up, I think, again into the sunshine. Talaga picked it up after Chambers lost it. And if Talaga had stayed at the bag at second, Chambers can at least regroup and get the lead runner. And instead, that doesn't happen. This one never even got to Chambers, so that'll be scored an infield single. Mike McKenzie came out. Really didn't say very much of anything. Let the infielders take care of it themselves. Tying run is on base. Celine Pacheco, 1 for 2 with an RBI, steps in here. I think this is a sacrifice spot, and it is. Right out in front, and Tomasco has to take the out at first with Chambers. So a couple of runners in scoring position with 1 out for Grace Salaja in the 8 spot. Salaja has walked and reached on an error today. Can tie it up with a base hit. Takes ball 1. A close pitch. Left-handed Salaja hitting .436 in the regular season. Is ahead here 2-0. Only a little more than half of Hannah Tomasco's pitches today have been for strikes. 2-0, finds the outside corner. Delaney Martino would hit next. Barring a double play, it'll be an unlikely one. Count is 3-1 as Tomasco misses outside. It's 5-3. Will it stay that way? Salaja with the hitter's count. 3-1 shows bunt. Took it and will walk to load the bases. Delaney Martino looking for her first hit of the tournament. 0 for 2 in this game, 0 for 3 with a sacrifice in total. Hitting again from the left side. The Aurora infield pulled in. First pitch to Martino is in for strike 1. Tomasco to the fastball and located it well. Martino just 4 for 27 in the conference tournament, and will be behind here 0-2 as she fouls an off-speed offering from Tomasco on top of the Spartan dugout. Tomasco with only 3 strikeouts in this one. A 4th would go a long way here. Tried to locate on the outside corner and missed. Ball and 2 strikes. In a high-pressure 5th inning here, Martino stays alive. count remains 1-2. MSOE could potentially tie it with a base hit. Tomasco ahead of the 9-hitter, and Martino gets a ball back up the middle and through. Base hit. Turning and scoring is Stefanchek, and it's 5-all. MSOE 5 for 9 with runners in scoring position against the Spartans. And Aurora has surrendered a 5-0 lead here in the middle innings. Kara McKenna 1 for 3 stepping in. A chance to give MSOE the lead. Takes ball 1 off the plate. MSOE was staggered, but not knocked out. And now back on level terms in the 5th. Swing and a miss from McKenna. One, too high. Again, Aurora hasn't lost this year when scoring at least 5 runs. They're going to need more than that to keep that streak going. Count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes as McKenna fouls off. Hannah Tomasco fastball. She's choked up here. A 2-2 pitch with 2 on is off the plate. Hannah Tomasco's thrown 125 pitches in this one. This is 126, and it's popped up. Way up there, foul territory, third base side, and Seyfried. Bit of a snow cone catch, but a catch nevertheless. Out number 2. To bring Faith Mata to the plate. 3 for 3. And the sophomore is having a day here against Aurora. We'll try to keep the inning going. Tomasco starts her off. A fastball. It's knocked down by Seyfried, and her throw from her knees gets Mata to end the inning. A couple runs in on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left. New ball game through 4.5. Aurora and MSOE tied up at 5. Jordan Seyfried makes a nice play to end the top of the 5th. She leads off the bottom half. MSOE has fought back from down 5-0 to tie it up. Aurora now looking for some answers here after being held off the board in back-to-back innings. Seyfried a single and a strikeout in this one. First pitch swinging and a base hit in the center. Good start for Aurora. Seyfried 2 for 3. And now Faith Biggs to the plate with a couple of singles. One of the infield variety and 1 clean in the left. An infield single was on what I thought at the time was going to be a sacrifice attempt. And she has 2 sacks on the year. Pops up the bunt attempt here and fouls it into the netting. That would seem to be the play here. Try to move the line, turn the lineup over. Swung a good bat, regardless of the situation. Third baseman Stefanchek ready to get down the line. Big shows bunt again, gets it down. This will be a tough play for Stefanchek, who fields it clean. The throw is not in time. Biggs has her second infield single of the day. 2 on, nobody out for Josie Liddon. 3 plate appearances, only 1 at bat. That was an infield single. As a sacrifice and a hit by pitch, and you'd have to suspect that Liddon will be putting down a bunt here as well. And imagine that MSOE will be ready to play that. So Kennedy Lane now in trouble here. Liddon is hit. And the bases are loaded. That is the second time that she has been hit by a pitch. Alyssa Robeson is out to argue. She's trying to indicate that she felt that Liddon leaned into it. But again, that's not one that you're likely to win very much when the home plate umpire's already made the call. Nobody out, bases loaded, bottom of the 5th for Gemma Feeway. It's the third batter that Kennedy Lane has hit, Liddon twice and Feeway once. And it's up to Aurora to make that a significant play. Just 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Feeway fouls the first pitch off. You're looking for a medium deep fly ball. That's it. Slow roller would work too. The infield not pulled in here for MSOE. 0-1 is outside. Feeway, 1 for 2. A couple of runs scored at an RBI triple in the first. Was hit by a pitch in the second and struck out in the third. Count 1-1. Feeway out in front. Taps it foul. Laura Starkey, the first base coach, makes the play. Ball and 2 strikes. Ashley Talaga, Lexi Rayborn set to hit. After Feeway. Swings and misses. The foul tip into the glove. One down for Ashley Talaga. 3 RBIs today. A squeeze play, a 2-run single. Also popped out the third. She's 1 for 2. First pitch swinging and fouls it off. Now you want Aurora to be aggressive in this spot. But the base is loaded with nobody out guarantees nothing. And you want them to be in control and not just trying to settle for the sacrifice fly. 0-1 also fouled off. It looks like MSOE will trade a run for an out here. If Talaga can put one in play and not pop it up. It's the 0-2. It's too tall. Now it's worth noting, and we haven't actually seen one here. I don't think we've seen one all game, but all day for that matter. But wild pitch, it's pretty cozy, so you don't often see advances from third on wild pitches. 1-2, Talaga fights it off. It was a breaking ball, and I thought it was going to be off the plate, but Talaga took no chances and able to splash that away. Could well be a turning point in this game. Aurora gets the bases loaded with nobody out in the 5th. Can they bring one in? Can they bring more than one in? Pop-up, foul, back towards us. No one made a play. Stays a ball and 2 strikes. Kennedy Lane and Ashley Talaga both battling here in the bottom of the 5th with the bases loaded and 1 out. Talaga stays alive. Aurora with 11 hits. 19th time they've been into double digits there. Trying to come up with the big hit. Ball 2. Seyfried on third, Biggs on second, and Liddon on first. 1 out in a 5-5 game. The 2-2 to Talaga is fouled off again into the netting. 9th pitch of this at-bat coming up. The longest one against Kennedy Lane today. Here's the 2-2 once more. Swing and a miss. Lane with back-to-back strikeouts with the bases loaded. And now Lexi Rayborn the last chance to get one in here. Single hit batter. Strikeout. Can Lane get one more out? This is high to Rayborn to start her off. She's 1 for 3. An RBI and a strikeout. Drove in a team best 37 RBIs on the season. Now at 38. Trying to add to that total. Takes the breaking ball for strike 1. The 1-1. Fastball upstairs. Rayborn lays it off. Hitters count. 2 balls and a strike to Rayborn. Two 2-1 is popped up foul. That will carry out of play. Kennedy Lane is a strike away from getting out of the bases loaded jam. Aurora has had at least a hit in every inning. 2 here in this frame. 2-2 is fouled away. Not a lot of folks have left the seats in this one. Don't blame them. 2-2 again to Rayborn. Breaking ball, and it's popped up. First base side, foul territory. Spreitzer makes the play. MSOE gets out of the bases loaded jam. And we stay tied through 5 at 5. Aurora and MSOE here in the 2022 NACC Tournament semifinals. Sixth inning set to begin. Aurora and MSOE knotted up at 5. In the heart of the order coming to the plate for MSOE, Jenna Trewin looking for her first hit of this contest. And she'll take the breaking ball off the plate inside for ball 1. She is 0 for 3, hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield against Hannah Tomasco. But is going to be ahead of Hannah here 2-0. Hannah's already at 128 pitches, and you're not so worried about pitch counts in softball. It's still a lot with work still to do. And she falls behind Trewin here 3-0. In danger of putting the go-ahead run on base. Let's come back with strike 1 here. Missed opportunities for Aurora. Bases loaded, nobody out. Last inning, didn't score. Ground ball to short. Talaga, the backhanded stop, pops up and throws out Trewin. Another fine defensive play in a season full of them for Ashley Talaga. One away. And Morgan Long will come in. Like Trewin, hitless in this one. She's hitless for the tournament, 0 for 3 with a couple of walks. And Tomasco with the hook in for strike 1 over the inside corner. It's going to be on Hannah to keep MSOE off the scoreboard here, give the Bats a chance for a do-over next inning. And she starts off Long with back-to-back strikes. Now to try to put away the cleanup hitter and misses outside. 1-2. Fouled off the hands and over the netting. Aurora up 5-0, and seemed like they could do no wrong against Kennedy Lane, and you wondered, well, is this going to be a runaway? They had 2 on, 1 in scoring position in the third, didn't score. And then a golden opportunity last inning, as I mentioned, didn't score either. As Kennedy Lane has just gotten better as the game has gone along. Close pitch on 2-2, and then a breaking ball hooked foul. And the count level here, still at 2-2. CUW and Benedictine were set to start 17 minutes ago. Only one softball field here at Spartan Athletic Park, so safe to say they are still waiting. A backup breaking ball fools Long. That one was up and in, and it was ball 3, and Long could not hold on. 4th strikeout for Tomasco, 2 up, 2 down. For Caitlin Spreitzer, she's reached twice in this one and struck out once. First pitch swinging and a tapper foul. Has 2 of MSOE's 5 runs. Lauren Stefanchik waiting on deck, has 2 more. Ball 1 up high. Ball and a strike here to Spreitzer. Now 2-1 as Tomasco misses outside with a fastball. Three and 1. The go-ahead run trying to get on here. 3-1 pitch, misses, ball 4. Benedictine leading Aurora 6-5 in the final minutes of the NACC Men's Lacrosse Tournament Championship game. Trying to come up with the equalizer, but running out of time to do it. We are at equal terms here, 5-all for Lauren Stefanchik, and she'll take strike 1 on the changeup from Tomasco. Stefanchik is 2 for 3, singling twice and scoring each time. pops up the 0-1 to Tomasco, who ends the inning. No hits, one left. 5-5 through 5.5. Aurora and MSOE tied up. We'll send somebody to tomorrow's championship game. Don't know who yet. Kennedy Lane and Hannah Tomasco have thrown very nearly the same number of pitches to this point. Tomasco's at 145. Lane at 118 in this game after 23 in the first. Well, not 23 total in the first, 23 in the final 2 innings. She will face Tyler Chambers in the 5 spot for Aurora in the bottom of the 6th in a 5-5 game. Chambers trying to find a way aboard. She'll take strike 1 from Lane here. And it's certainly looking like it's going to be a fight to the finish, and perhaps next run wins. 0-1 to Chambers comes up and in for ball 1. Aurora has left the bases loaded twice in this game. The first time was in the second after scoring 3 runs. Second time last inning after getting the first 3 aboard. They didn't score at all. Chambers gets ahead here as the fastball misses low and away. It's 2 balls and a strike. Tyler with a double. Reached on an error and flew out today. She's 1 for 3. 2-1 breaking ball misses outside. Hitters count for Tyler. Already extended her hitting streak to 5 games. Looking to set the table here, leading off the inning. Lane's 3-1 is swung on and fouled off. The count full. Lane looks in, winds and misses. Ball 4. It's the second walk for Lane today, although she has hit 3 batters. Been a lot of traffic for Aurora in this one. Delilah Aguirre, the single and a walk in her 3 plate appearances today. What will she be asked to do against Lane? She'll be asked to bunt and does. Stefanchik fields it. The throw to Pacheco covering the bag advances Chambers 60 feet. So Shelby Lynn will bat here with runner in scoring position for Aurora, but it's not been a good spot for them. They're 2 for 11. Looks like we'll have a pinch runner first, or no, a pinch hitter, I think. Perhaps neither. It will be a pinch hitter after all. And it's going to be Brianna Hoffman getting a hit here in the 6th. Now Hoffman hit a pinch hit 2-run double against MSOE when they met in mid-April. She takes strike 1 at the knees here to begin this plate appearance. Hoffman on the year, 3 for 10 with that double against MSOE and 4 RBIs. Freshman from Brawley, California, hit 400 as a senior for the Union high school Wildcats. Fouls off the 0-1. Behind here 0-2. One out, runner on second. Jordan Seyfried is on deck. He will hit next, regardless of the result here. Hoffman behind 0-2. Takes ball one above the letters. The 1-2. Runs in. Misses for ball two. Kenny Delane walks to the back, the pitcher circle. Now back onto the rubber here. The 2-2 count to Brianna Hoffman. After the change. Fooled Hoffman, but not enough. The freshman taps that foul. Bottom of the sixth. Runner in scoring position in a 5-5 game with one out. The 2-2. Riser, swing and a miss. Lane has 8 strikeouts today. And now it's Aurora struggling to come through with runners in scoring position. Jordan Seyfried will be the next to try. Couple of singles on either side of a strikeout. Hitting here with 2 outs. Takes ball one. Tie game. Aurora trying to untie it here in the 6th. Seyfried chases the change. Bottom fell out of that one. Evens the count. Bottom third of the order is due up for MSOE in the 7th. Regardless of outcome here, will it need to be for a rally or not? Base hit into the, no, not a base hit. It was hit sharply at the third baseman, Stefanczyk. It hit her on the shin, died in front of her. She picked it up and threw out Seyfried, who stumbled out of the box. And so Kennedy Lane able to once again get out of a runner in scoring position situation after giving up 5 runs in the first 2 innings, has put up 4 straight shutout innings. And we'll go to the 7th with Aurora and MSOE tied at 5. The semifinals of the 2022 NACC tournament. Five, going to the 7th. Trying to determine one of the teams that will play for the NACC tournament title tomorrow. Aurora led 5-0 through 2 innings. MSOE tied it up in the 5th. No scoring since. Celine Pacheco is an RBI single. We'll take strike one here from Hannah Tomasco. Pacheco a pop out to Tomasco and a sacrifice. Makes her 1 for 2 in this contest. Hannah winds and deals. Comes right back in with strike 2. Oh, 2 has fallen off. Been a lot of high-stress innings for Hannah Tomasco. 27 pitches to get out of the first, 23 in the second, 37 in the third, 26 more in the 5th, and 19 to get through 4 hitters last inning. Really only had one low-stress inning. That was the 4th. 13 pitches, 4 batters. This is outside, well outside for that matter, to Pacheco here. 1-2. First batter of the 7th. It's fouled off the hands. One and two. Too high. MSOE 8 hits today. Aurora has 11. 5 runs. They've all been in bunches today. There's a pop-up, foul territory. Not foul territory. Indeed foul territory. Thought that one was going to stay in, and then it drifted foul. So after I was wrong twice, I got back to it. No one could get there. That's the important thing, and it's still 2-2. Try again here on Pacheco. Fights off that pitch. Now the net effect here is that Tomasco is well over 150 pitches now in this contest, without having an out recorded in the 7th inning. And it will remain that way as this one's fouled into the seats. So this will be the 10th pitch of this at-bat, which will be the longest of the game. And what has already been a long game. This is 2 hours of softball on the nose as I speak. And we're not done, and we might not be done here for some amount of time. Two-two. Breaking ball. That's fouled off. Now you have to wonder, CUW has been out warming up in some cages now for hours. Most of them have stopped and are leaning on the bullpen railing to watch this. Not all of them. Another foul ball. Celine Pacheco is going to see the 12th pitch of this plate appearance, and the count is still 2-2. Tomasco just doesn't have the out pitch against this MSOE lineup today, just 4 strikeouts. Soft liner to second, and Chambers makes the catch. And I think that's one that will go a long way for Tyler's confidence. Had a couple of tough situations come up in the 5th inning with balls hit to her into the sun. Lost both of them. One was an error, one was a single. Able to come up with a nice play there to get the first out. And now Grace Salaja fouls off the first pitch CC's. He's reached all 3 times today, a couple of walks and on an error in the 3rd. Hitting here with 1 out, base is empty. Breaking ball, gets away from Liddon. No harm, no foul with nobody on. A ball and a strike. Dealing with the lefty Salaja. Tomasco for strike 2. One, two, fought off. Now Aurora will at least have the benefit as the home team, not just literally, but on the scoreboard here for this game, of having the final at-bat. Tomasco can keep MSOE off the board, and they just need one more to get across to win it. Breaking ball, grounder to 3rd. Nice stop by Seyfried, who pops up and throws out Salaja. 2 away. 5-3 put out for the 2nd out. Now Delaney Martino hit a 2-run single to tie the game 2 innings ago. 1 for 3 in this game. First pitch swinging and fouling it off. Into the netting, and Liddon made the play off of the net on the fly. Nice play, but it's not going to count for an out here. Oh, 1. Bounced out to short. Talaga to her right, spiked the throw, and I don't know that she was going to get Martino anyway, but then the throw really gave it no chance. A go-ahead run is now in scoring position after Aurora's third error of the game. It's just the fourth time they've had 3 errors. Kara McKenna can put MSOE in front. He is 1 for 4. First pitch swinging, fouls it out of play. The 1 pitch is fouled off, and it's 0-2. McKenna up for the 5th time today, trying to put MSOE into the lead. Won't get a chance here. Tomasco's fastball was well off the plate. One ball, 2 strikes to McKenna, hitting here from the left side. Swung on, hit to center. Feeway looking for it, drifts into the alley and makes the catch to end the inning. 2-out error left on, and Aurora will have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th. It is 5-all between the Spartans and MSOE in the 2022 NACC Tournament semifinals. Five to 5, bottom of the 7th. Aurora will turn over the lineup after Faith Biggs hits in the 9 spot. She is 3 for 3. Aurora has only a single walk-off hit this season, which we'll get to in a moment, as the player who did it is due up this inning. Kennedy Lane's first pitch to Faith Biggs. Outside, I thought, but called a strike. Biggs is 3 for 3. Full of infield singles and a clean single in the left. She fouls off the 0-1. Kennedy Lane, 4 shutout innings after giving up 5 through 2 frames. Biggs fights off the 0-2. Aurora this season has not played a ton of 1-run games. 4-1. Ball 1 outside. One, 2 to Biggs. Said she leaned into it. Ball 2. So they will keep her there, and I think that might be the product of the MSOE questioning a few of those before. And then Biggs is retired on strikes as Lane has her 9th strikeout. It'll bring Josie Liddon up, who has reached all 4 times today. Hit by a pitch twice, once on an infield single. Actually, I should say she has a sacrifice. She's had productive plate appearances all 4 times. Takes a breaking ball off the plate. And they'll be ahead here 1-0. Gemma Feeway is in the on-deck circle. She has that walk-off hit to beat Rockford right here on March 26th. Swing and a tap foul. Count is 1-1. Breaking ball, sprayed foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Liddon trying to battle here against Lane and hits this one off the bag and in the left field. Josie 2 for 2. And will Mike McKenzie send her? Has 25 stolen bases. Alyssa Robeson will come out to have a word first. There's a lot of discussion that needs to be had here. Now, MSOE has not had a ton of players attempt to run on them. They threw out 7 of 26 would-be base stealers in the regular season, throwing out 27%. Jenna Trewin, 7 for 21 on attempted stolen bases. Now, some of that certainly is just there not being a ton of traffic against Kennedy Lane and Sarah Grossman this season. Also, I think it says a lot about what Jenna Trewin can do behind the plate. 1 on, 1 out. Winning run is on base. Gemma Feeway at the plate. First pitch swinging, lifts this into center. Salaja will have it, and Liddon is in trouble, having to hustle back to first and does. The throw actually came back in from center and got away from Spreitzer. But Liddon not advancing. 2 away for Ashley Talaga, and we'll see if extra innings are necessary. Talaga 1 for 3. 3 RBIs today. Takes ball 1. Will Josie run? Get in the scoring position here. 1-0 is fouled off. Talaga, 5 homers on the year. 1 behind the team leader in Lexi Rayborn. It's now just 3 off the team lead in RBIs behind Rayborn. 1-1. That's fouled back into the screen. A strike away from needing bonus softball. The 1-2 is outside, runner goes, and the throw is not in time. Liddon in the scoring position. But Aurora is just 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position in this game. With 2 outs, Liddon will be running on contact, and a base hit could very well end it and put Aurora into the final tomorrow. Count is 2-2 to Talaga. She takes it too high. First base is open. Lexi Rayborn is on deck. Will she need to bat this inning? Payoff pitch to Talaga. Swung on, hit on a rope to center at Salaja, who ends the inning to force extras. 5-5 through 7. Aurora and MSOE will need more in this, the NACC tournament semifinals. Top of the 8th inning here. MSOE with a leadoff bunt single for Faith Mata, followed by a fly out to center from Jenna Trewin. And so the tying run aboard here with 1 out for Morgan Long, or the go-ahead run, I should say. And Anna Tomasco misses outside to her. Foul ball. Long intentionally walked in the first. 0 for 3 since. Be ahead here 2-1. Two and two here as Long fouls off a hitter's count. Breaking ball just missed. Ball 3, and Aurora fans not terribly thrilled about that call. Payoff pitch now to Long is lined in the left into the corner. Aguirre overruns it, and Mata will try to score from first and does. RBI double for Long gives MSOE the lead in the 8th. And now possibly 3 outs away from playing tomorrow morning. Mike McKenzie in out of the dugout here. Be a pinch runner for Long here. Jenna O'Donnell. Caitlin Spreitzer reached 3 times in 4 plate appearances, couple of walks, and on an error. And this will certainly go down as one of the more deflating losses for Aurora recent memory if they're not able to mount a rally in the 8th. Tomasco misses inside to start off Spreitzer. The middle of the order due up for Aurora. Right now just 1 to get. It's on Hannah Tomasco to try to keep it that way. Finds the strike zone here. Long's double, their second of the game. Kara McKenna led off with 1. Count is 2-1 here to Spreitzer. Now 2-2. That was a pitcher's pitch. And one that I think Tomasco will take. Now a 2-2 is fouled away. 6 straight runs for MSOE after trailing 5-0. In front here in the 8th. Tomasco now with the count full for the second straight batter. Payoff pitch, ground ball third, backhanded stop by Seyfried, throw across the diamond in time. O'Donnell will advance to third. But 2 away here for Lauren Stefanchek, who is 2 for 4. Looks like we're going to be about an hour and a half behind schedule at least, if the game ends in the 8th. They're with us now, expecting Concordia, Wisconsin, and Benedictine. It was set to start at 3:30, and obviously it has had to wait. Game that's now up over 2 hours and 20 minutes. 0-1 hit on a rope deep to left. Aguirre goes back and makes the catch to end the inning. Will that end up being important? We'll see, but MSOE takes the lead in the top of the 8th with a run on 2 hits. They leave 1. Last chance time for Aurora. Down 6-5, going to the bottom of the 8th here at Bedrosian Stadium. Middle of the order due up for Aurora in the 8th, down 6-5. Kennedy Lane needs 3 more outs to pitch tomorrow against either Concordia, Wisconsin or Benedictine. Lexi Rayborn is 1 for 4 in this ball game. They'll take the breaking ball well off the plate. Aurora had the bases loaded. Nobody out in the 5th, didn't score, and now find themselves behind in extras. One 0 over the inside corner. Rayborn twists out of the way. It's the Raiders into the count here. One. Check swing, foul ball. Aurora has played extra innings just 1 time this year. They were walked off on a home run by Concordia, Wisconsin in that one. MSOE in extra frames for the first time this season. Rayborn fights off the 1-2. Stays alive. Tyler Chambers and Delilah Aguirre are up this inning. Aurora just needs 1 to extend the game, 2 to win it. And it's been tough against Kennedy Lane over the last 5 innings. 1-2 to Rayborn, tapped back up the middle. Shortstop McKenna fields it on a roll and throws out Rayborn for the first out. And it's Tyler Chambers. 1 for 3 with a double and a walk. First pitch swinging, hit to left. Martino has it for out number 2. Aurora down to its final out. Delilah Aguirre. 1 for 2. A walk and a sacrifice today. The last chance for Aurora. Down 6-5 in the 8th. Takes strike 1. Aurora's season hanging in the balance here. Breaking ball for strike 2. Oh, and 2 here for Lane. Aguirre fights it off. Shelby Lynn to hit next. Or stand corrected, Brianna Hoffman to hit next. As Lynn has been lifted. 0-2, too high. Aurora needing a 2-out, 2-strike rally to play on. 1 and 2, swung on and hit deep to left. Going back to the fence, and it's caught at the wall by Martino to end it. And MSOE comes all the way back to win a marathon in 8 innings. 6-5. Raiders with 6 runs on 10 hits. They strand 12, go 5 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Aurora 5 runs on 12 hits. They also strand 12 today, but go 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Faith Mata had 4 hits, scored twice for MSOE. Lauren Stefanchek 2 for 5. Caitlin Spreitzer, Grace Salaja both drove in a couple. And it was Morgan Long with the RBI double in the 8th that proved to be the winning run. For Aurora, Josie Liddon a couple of hits. Faith Biggs was 3 for 4. Jordan Seifried had a couple of hits. Ashley Talaga drove in 3. It was not enough. Kennedy Lane gets the win. It's 19-5 after going the distance, allowing 5 earned runs and striking out 9. Hannah Tomasco takes the loss, now 16-4, giving up 6 runs, only 3 earned on 10 hits and 5 walks. So MSOE plays on. They are 26-8. They'll take on the winner of Concordia, Wisconsin, and Benedictine coming up around 5 o'clock. Aurora sees its season in all probability come to an end at 31-8. Time of the game, 2 hours, 27 minutes. So a disappointing way for it to end for Aurora. Led 5-0 through 2 innings. Could not hang on. And MSOE in a thriller comes all the way back, wins it in extras, and makes the final out at the wall on a long fly ball from Delilah Aguirre. 6-5 the final. MSOE wins it. We hope you'll come back for the second semifinal and the 4th game of the 2022 NACC tournament. Around 5 o'clock between Concordia, Wisconsin and Benedictine here at athletics.aurora.edu and naccsports.org.